Hey, this is Bret the Hitman Hart, and you're listening to InYourHeadOnline.com.
Right. These dudes are so low-tech they hung up on their guests, but that's okay.
Oops. It hasn't happened since we had Ox Baker on. Scott Hall and Ox Baker.
Ox Baker's famous for, Escape from New York, right?
Mm-hmm.
And have you heard the legend that Ox Baker killed a guy in the ring?
I believe it was 7
You ever heard that story?
Yes.
Have you ever heard that one?
With the heart punch?
No, I think he bored the guy to death. I don't know. No, I heard he stumbled, bumbled, and fell on some dude and killed him or something.
Yeah, I guess he just changed it to the hard punch. It's probably a better story. But is that true though? Did he actually do that, or was that just something?
I don't know. You know what I mean? You hear so much stuff come up in this business. I've never met the man. I'm a big fan of his, and I thank him for all he's done for the business and blah, 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 blah. But, I heard he killed the dude. I heard there's only been a few dudes killed in the ring in our industry, and that was one of them.
Man, now I feel really bad laughing earlier about that.
I don't.
We got Maggie on the line, and she wants to plug a website.
Hello.
Maggie?
Hello. Hey,
Brian, just wait a minute, Brian. Just calm down. All right, Maggie, go on.
I just wanted to drop
Maggie May from ScottHallTV.com.
Yes, sir, it is. How are you doing?
You know me, Maggie. I'm up and down.
I know.
I'm there.
I just wanted to drop in and tell everybody to check out your new site. You know, we've made it really friendly user.
Right. I mean, Maggie, you and Lenny are like the bomb, and I've got hundreds of dolls sitting at the door. And I sat down the other day when I still had that camera you sent me, and I filmed me signing. I signed a bunch of pictures and stuff. They're all in a box. I don't drive. You know me, I don't drive because I will drink and drive, so I don't drive. But if I can get to the post office, I'm going to mail all that stuff to you. You need to text me your address so I know where to send it. But,
okay.
I got all
well,
that
you
stuff.
have to stuff at the post
I've got
office.
I've got thousands of action figures out there for fans who want them. I'm going to sit here and sign them all, and I'm going to film myself signing them and stuff. I want to do more I want to participate this other lady called and said, what about this website stuff? Maggie, you know how I feel about it. I don't want a computer because I have you and Lenny and stuff. I don't need one. I got Gene up there in New York and stuff. I don't need one, but I got Rico. If you're listening, amigo, I'm sorry. I miss you. But, I don't know. I want to reach out to the fans in a way that I can, and so I'm not going to ever sit down and type anything out to you. I'm not going to blog to you or whatever, but I will send you a cool-ass little video if I can.
What kind of action figures? And did you ever collect, your own stuff? your
No, I never did, bro. That's my problem is I bet, and the funny part, too, is sometimes, when we got to WCW, some of the dolls, sucked, and people go, wow, your doll sucks. And I go, wow, yeah, my 15th doll sucks. So, first time I had a doll, I had a Scott Hall doll in the AWA. And me and Jimmy Garvin are in a box together. And God bless you, Jimmy, if you're out there listening. I miss you and love you. And we all had the same bodies.
Right, like the He-Man figures.
Connected. All the dolls had the same bodies, and they just popped their heads on and off.
Uh-huh.
That's when, people talking about, you were talking about Scott Hall, and I was telling you Scott Hall in the grocery store, Scott Hall in the ring. That's when I realized, events changed the world, and it became more of a marketing, merchandising world. And I went, okay, that's when I went to, the little Superman spit curl, the Elvis spit curl, and razor on the front of my tights and stuff like that, because my doll, you couldn't tell who it was.
Mm.
You know what I mean? If you didn't know who it was, you wouldn't know who it was. So I went, oh, no way. I need some identifying characters. I need a spit curl. I need razor on my tights. I need this and that and this and that, so people can tell who my dolls are. And I got man, you know how cool it is? I got 50 dolls. Now, did I ever collect them? No. You know what? When you're working for Vince and you're working 300 days a year, you ain't got time for that shit. People come to you. I can remember sometimes we'd be in Europe and stuff like that, and people would bring you a portrait. These people would hand paint like a portrait of you and bring it to you in the hotel. Mm-hmm. Like, and hand it to you, and you go like, "Well, thank you so much." And you take it up to your hotel room and you leave it there because you don't want to hurt their feelings. Man, I can't lug this thing around for another 10, 12 days on the road. Now looking back, if I had been more mature, I would have shipped it home and I would have had it in my gym and all that kind of stuff. But I never saved any of that stuff. I never saved any of the magazine covers and that kind of stuff. Because you know what? When you're out there running and you're doing it, and you are ruling the world, you don't care. Now, get in the twilight of your career, when now my kids are grown, and now people go, "You used to be that wrestler guy, right?" And I go, "Yeah." And you want to go, "Yeah, come on in my gym here. Let me show you. I used to be a big deal." You want to show them like, boom, look at all my stuff,
Right.
I don't have any of that, but my mom does. And thank you, Mom, up there. My mom has every doll, every magazine cover, everything. And she got it all up in her attic up there in Maryland. So I do have access to it. But, I'm going to say this too, and I don't want to insult any fans up there, but I'll never forget one time we wrestled up there in Calgary, right? And Bret has everyone over to his house. He has all the boys to his house, which is really kind of him because a lot of guys don't want a bunch of wrestlers around their family. Mm-hmm. Cause it's like, no, this is where we draw the line. I want a bunch of jocks hanging around my house. And Bret had everybody to his house, and I got to admit, I'm just a different Captain Bret. I ain't saying I'm any better. I ain't saying I'm any worse. But Bret's house is a shrine to the Hitman. I mean, there wasn't a room in Bret's house that didn't have a picture of him in his wrestling gear. I mean, above his brother, he was married back then to the lady he has babies with, and above his bed was a portrait of Bret in his, Sergeant Pepper jacket. Remember the pink Sergeant Pepper jacket with little bangles,
tassel things, yeah.
And stuff. No, I ain't saying it wasn't cool. I'm just saying, but whoa, bro. Like in your bed, are you ribbing me? I mean, it was a shrine to the Hitman. I've always felt like I grew up doing jobs. I got beat by dudes. I used to be 290, jacked up on steroids, doing jobs for dudes who were 60 and, with no teeth. I was out there in Kansas City doing jobs for Roof Star Jones. And this is back when it wasn't sports entertainment. It was wrestling, and we still sold it as being real. Mm-hmm. I would go in bars, and people go, "Wait a minute. You do that wrestling stuff, man? That stuff's fake." I go, "No, it didn't." "Well, try me." They go, "Man, I saw that dude beat you." And I said, "Well, yeah, he beat me, and I'll kill you, so think what he'd do to you." So it was like a whole... I grew up knowing this business is entertainment. I know it's a show. It's fake. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying we're not good athletes and we don't get hurt. I'm saying it's a show. And I never grew up... I always grew up not being... We call it a mark. I'm not a mark for myself. You know what I mean? I'm not like... I have a gym out here by my pool where I got pictures of different people I met on the road, and I got pictures of, me, and I got pictures of Click. I got pictures of my buds, in different parts of the world. I don't have, big posters of me all around my house, stuff like that, because I think it's stupid. It ain't what I do. I mean, it's what I do. It's not who I am. I'm not... It's my occupation, it's my love, it's my passion, but it doesn't define who I am. Mm-hmm. I've been blessed to do it, but I will never forget going to Bret's house, because I dug Bret. I walked in his house, and when I left his house, I didn't feel the same way about it. I don't know, man. But I ain't knocking Bret. He came up different. He was second generation, all that kind of stuff, but I will never forget there wasn't, and he has a beautiful house, indoor pool, the whole deal, man. There wasn't a room in that house that didn't have a picture of him in his wrestling gear.
Yeah. Now,
my house, I got a big ass house too, and you won't find one picture of me.
Yeah.
My gear. You find pictures of me with my buds, and pictures of me and my friends and my kids and stuff like that. You won't find me in my gear.
Yeah. Do you have a poster of Bret in your room with that jacket?
Yeah, the Sergeant Pepper one sometimes when I beat off to it.
Good times, good times.